This is the Sony 70-350G OSS lens for your Sony APS-C mirrorless camera. But as always, is it any good? What's going on, guys? Gary Jaman here, back at it again with a new video. Hope everybody feeling safe and it's fine. Let's begin right away with this review video, and as always, I'm going to divide this video in 4 sections. First of all, I'm going to talk about the build quality, then the image quality, then the autofocus performance, and finally my overall conclusion and the answer to the question, is this lens any good, yes or no? So let's begin right away with the build quality. This lens feels really good in the hands and is very solid. Very solid feeling, if you know what I mean. It feels really premium, it's weather sealed, it has a weather sealing gasket at the back, and also it's moisture resistant. It weighs around 625 grams, and the full frame equivalent of this is 105 up to 525 millimeters. So that is really crazy, right? And as you see on the side, we got some switches. We got the autofocus manual focus switch, we got the OSS switch. OSS stands for optical steady shot, and with the optical steady shot, it just means that this lens has an inbuilt body stabilization. So that is really helpful if you have like shaky hands, especially here right now in the Netherlands. It's November and it's just very cold outside, so it's very helpful to have any type of stabilization, especially if your camera does not have a stabilization built inside. And we also got a customizable button at the side, and we also got a locking mechanism so that it does not extend automatically when you're walking around or put it in your bag. Other than that, it really feels solid, really feels good in the hand. If you put it on your Sony a6000 type of camera, of course it will be front end heavy because of the size of the lens, but it's just how physics works, right? So other than that, in terms of build quality, it's very solid, very nice, and also for its size, quite lightweight. So let's talk about the image quality, where things become a little bit more interesting. All the shots that you see right now were all shot with my Sony a6000. That is for photos. I'm also going to show you some video that were shot with my Sony a7 III. So let's check out the photos first. As you see, everything looks perfectly fine, and if you're wondering where it is, this is a little park here in the Netherlands near Zandvoort. You might have heard that, maybe, I don't know, but there is a little park there. It's called the Amsterdamse Waterleidingduinen, and there you can find some deer, and I even found one here right now. This is November. Usually in November they're all going to like hibernate or something. They're going to sleep, I don't know, they're going to hide somewhere and just chill somewhere. Then you don't find them very often anymore, but I just managed to find one, and you know, as you see right here, it looks perfectly fine. So when you are going to do some like wildlife photography or nature shots, you know, a super tele zoom lens is really nice tool to have. But in terms of image quality, this Sony 70-350 looks really good, and I don't have any real negative things to say about it. There's no vignetting, there is no like distortion or anything. It really looks perfectly fine, to be quite honest. Let's check out the video files. So the video files were not shot with my Sony a6000s, they were all shot with my Sony a7 III, and as you see right here, these shots were all 4K 25 frames per second, by the way. As you see, this little deer just looks perfectly fine. And also the optical steady shot is looking pretty well. I think it works pretty well, especially with my Sony a7 III, where you see that the built-in sensor or built-in stabilization, or IBIS, what they call, from the Sony a7 III, combined with the OSS from this lens, it works perfectly fine. Also, I have here a little shot. As you see here, it's now turned on in this little shot, and then the following shot, it's turned off. So there is a major difference, as you see right there in that little example. So to recap, the image quality for photo and video is very solid. Let's continue on to the autofocus performance. Alright, so the autofocus performance, very easy to test it out. I'm just going to bring my little mini-me, and as you see right there, you know, this is also shot on my Sony a6000, and it focused just perfectly fine. So for photo, autofocus is working perfectly fine. Also for video, let's check that out. Shot as well on my Sony a6000, and you should see right there, everything looks perfectly fine as well. So no issues in terms of autofocus. Also, it is really silent, so really nice feature to have. All right, we are now at the end of this video, the final chapter. So let's check out the big question that we have, and that is this lens any good? And the answer is yes, because we got a solid build quality, we got a solid image quality, and we also got a solid performance. So there are no real like major negative things about this lens. Maybe its price is a little bit higher out there. It's like here in the Netherlands it's like 850 euro, so it's not a very cheap lens, but it's still quite affordable. I'm not sure what the price is in the US, but somewhere around that ballpark, around $1,000 I believe. But anyways, to recap again, if you are interested in buying this lens and you want to know if this lens is any good or capable of doing some nice wildlife photography and some nice nature stuff, then this is really a great performer, a solid option to have in your bag. All right, that's all guys. Thank you again for watching. Subscribe to the channel if not already to see more review videos about camera gear and lens and stuff. And other than that, you know, stay safe and healthy as always. Wear a face mask if you need. Wash your hands regularly. And you know, that's all. Thank you again. See you in the next one.